should expect the AWP to be a massive part of his game, especially now on Inferno, where we know just how strong that can be. And given how quick he has been on moving about the map and taking up crucial areas of map control for the Galaxy Racer side, the AWP is going to make that much more effective.
Straight down mid, though, from the CTs, and it seems like Lato wants to get aggressive. Of course, he's one of the rookies who've been doing very well. If he can find this skill, it's all the information in the world given away. Galaxy Racer are prioritizing a late bridge play to be able to go into apartments much more slowly. And as the CTs have converged, they are waiting for Pleasant to reveal himself. If he can get a kill, that would be big, and indeed it is. So, right behind him, they are converging, and if they miss a shot, that would be a disaster perhaps waiting to happen, and he's turned around a 180. Pleasant will get himself another on the terrorist side, where it looked like they were set up for catastrophic defeat, are now suddenly taking over. Barton still fighting back, and Phelps is good for one, and it's all the tables been flipped once again. Somehow, Godsent bring it back, Barton and Phelps, to save the day.
And you can see the odds from our partners over at Betway, how close this game is going to be. They predict 172 to Godsent, 195 to Galaxy Racers, and I mean, based on what we've seen so far, nothing to indicate any different. It was a close map on Mirage, and on this particular play, they start off with such a big advantage here on the Racer side, but that collapsed towards that second middle area where Galaxy Racers were just looking to set up. Instead, they are met with just aggression there from Godsent. Really well done by them.
Now Galaxy Racer, in true Galaxy Racer fashion, will be going for the full force buy. Question is Godsent ready for this one? Now, I will say this, I am personally of the opinion that I think Godsent should look much better on Inferno than they did earlier on Mirage. It's not one of their higher win rate maps, but just by the style of the players that they are and the fact that it is a little bit more conducive to anti-bug behavior if you are well-versed in your utility, I do think that there is a lot to potentially be done. I have no idea what that is. How does he do that? There's so many ways to throw that one.
Mm-hmm. It's a very delayed smoke as well, so it takes a little longer to bloom, but will likely keep Godsent a little busier as well. Where does this come from? So high arcing. It must be close top banana.
Maybe we should flash through.
Nah. Chilling on the boost. Admiring the flowers this is a setup so that Dumao can take first contact, spam away, hopefully go undetected up top. Very easily to be read into here though, and they're not going to find anything off of the boost. Instead it is Dumao and Lato that just do a little 1-2 punch as he fell off. The fight coming from Galaxy Racer, so a 4-on-5 that is made into a 3-on-3. How has Cholsey gotten 2? He finds both through the smoke?
And now 2 with a Mach 10, nothing too heavy, and Death Zone, his shots are ringing mighty heavy right now. Dumao and Barton though, the magic duo who seem to be able to clutch everything they're given, have already started nicely. 2 kills to find. Cholsey, who's had 3, now looking for 4 now. That's a Mach 10. I'm a neck who? He says, I'm the best Mach 10 in the world. Honestly, that was sick from Cholsey. I've never seen a Mach 10 spray look that consistent.
I'm just so confused. How did he get both of those kills when they were in such a poor position? You know, they're getting tagged down, they were low HP, they're just it just didn't stop from the spam there from Godsent, and then it just spam right back that really punishes them.
One important thing to note though, Galaxy Racer really did botch up their spacing as they were moving forward. They started moving in before the smoke bloomed and a little bit too late after the flash was sent, so either way, you know, you're not going to be blinded up on the CT side, and you're also not smoked off, so you give up a kill for free. A Molotov then separates you for quickly enough that, you know, they're able to move through into, I believe it was Barton? No, maybe Dumao, who's able to move through towards Coffin and just get another kill through the smoke. If not for Cholsey's heroics, this would very much, and maybe should very much have been a Godsent round.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That was the big surprise that really turned the table there for Galaxy Racer. Pretty default round from them altogether, just probing, seeing if they could find out what Godsent are up to. Many a deagle. So, a Kayota lined up in my Twitch chat.
You got him ready? Oh, maybe not. In all fairness, if you are spamming away, I don't know if that's quite worthy of one. But I'll just wait and see. 3 players set up, very similar setup as what we saw earlier on as well. Nato playing a wild anti-flash with the flashes here, and that is of course one of them. Dumao in the main one tagged up, and there are 4 players on this bomb site. None of them have yet to find a kill, and it seems like that might not be happening. The flash comes in, Pleasant through the smoke finds one, they're following through, and Barton and Phelps, not likely long for this world, might just want to save, and indeed did.
Alright, hitting backspace. Really hoping to post that one.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
They still
Good
have
mitigation of damage, though, here from Galaxy Racer. The, of course, standard set utility for taking that B-bomb site, so the Deagles get little accomplished in spite of the damage that's done to Galaxy Racer. 1 kill is not really what you were looking for. And because this is a pretty big investment to make, given the fact that it came so close, you can see the money there for Godsent is not great as a result of this. So saving these actually does have some impact. It'll make the next round a little more lethal here for Godsent.
I do quite like the decision, though, the purchase decision from Godsent. Because obviously, it's very reminiscent of back in the day when you had 0 round loss bonus going into the game, not 1 round loss bonus. So it's nice. You will have an AWP out, and Dumao on the AWP is just, it is a sight for sore eyes. Him and Barton together, so many clutches that they've actually brought out partially because of his op. It's just fun to watch, honestly. I'm a selfish person. All I want is fun to watch. Oh, that is fun to watch as well. Got myself a bit of a soft spot for those big boys coming through. Just absolutely demolishing. Taco likely to be victim as well, and as Dezon is completely blind, he'll at least find 1 for his trouble. And the rest of the T side will back off. They let them have it.
They're fast on this rotation, though, from Godsent, so they know what's up here for the Racer side, and they want to speed into this A-bomb site. 1 player hit towards that site, that is Barton, and the Moto Smoke, very well timed, will prevent the sight lines in on these rotationary players. Do they suspect Barton, though? The answer is no. Pleasant dropping that bomb, now realizing where Barton's positioned, that nade an absolute sitter. No armor, so he gets torn to shreds. And now just Phelps and Taco. 1 HP, separating Taco from a grave.
At that point, you may as well just sit down and lay your bed in it.
There's no need to do anything more.
Look, if it's your final resting place, may as well be there an hour early, you know? Beat the rush. Phelps and Taco, though, they're hoping to have some compatriots, have some friends to take forward. Galaxy Racer are trying really hard not to be friends.
Taco's going to do a lot here, I think. Oh, I thought he was going to jump out of the apartments.
Probably should have.
Yeah,
he does have the flash as well. And he does go through. That's big damage, but not quite big enough. The player who ends up going down would have fallen regardless, but at the very least, he does get the extra $600, puts himself up to 6,000, and he can now purchase up and up and drop it for a little bit of extra utility across the board for the AWP player.
Really surprising that they didn't clear the site there from Galaxy Racer, but it didn't ultimately end up being all too threatening a position, given that he saw the nade as well, and Barton wasn't able to make off with an AK. Because it was only a MAC-10 that Pleasant had, so of course, not to be the case. Godsent into the buy. They do have that AWP in Taco's hand, so positional offing once again here from favored. And Lato almost being given up as a frag, but Dumao able to respond in kind, peeking right around that same corner, but unexpected. Pleasant drop.
I'm not entirely sure why Pleasant brought out the knife, but good damage, I suppose, somewhat. A knife out in the open is generally a surefire way to die, as he
pretty
has
bad
discovered.
idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't try that at home. Probably should start giving a disclaimer in broadcasts, honestly. Galaxy Racer, though. They are not here just to put on a wrestling match. They're here to move through, and Shawzy's been shut down. The gap in the smoke showed his feet to Barton, if I'm not wrong, and Taco attempting a very swift shot, but as the player with this wide swing is way out, and Taco is forced back due to a grenade that also fires through. Phelps will be the one to aggress, potentially. They need a flashbang for it. Taco is in possession of one, but not quite willing to throw it yet. He is playing from inside the site, where it is impossible to try and flash mid from, and instead, they turn their sights onto B. Dumao lies in wait. No AWP for him. Taco monopolizes that one for now. As the breaks through, Dumao is just trying to spam his way in. It is a tag, but it's not heavy. He's not all too fussed by it yet.
Phelps trying to creep past the smoke, see if he can capitalize on the AWP, and maybe not paying much attention to this. He sits inside of it, and as it fades, oh, Joel, he hits the shot. It felt like Phelps had the advantage in that instant surprise factor, so it's brought to a 3-on-3.
This is a very difficult retake without the kit, and as Doplan peeks out, he's made it a tiny bit easier. Joel and Dazon left to try and defend. No one in Banana, but they don't know. And Barton, what a shallow peek that he needed to go for. Taco turns around. Do they have time? It seems like they barely do, but that was a ridiculous peek coming out, and Taco's follow-up as well is no less to speak of. I would love to see a replay of those.
I think Barton is the real savior of Godsent. We've been singing his praises all day about how important he's been in getting rounds for this side. And here on this map in the lower bracket, this is of course fighting to stay alive, make it to the playoffs. Here for the roster, he is still performing wonderfully.
I mean, it is quite amazing to watch. Oh, Joel, again. The same angle that Blessing tried to exploit before, Joel does so with an AWP. Much more convenient when you only need one bullet to kill the player. I hear that's nicer. And 4A1 players tell me that all the time. But now, flashbang goes overhead. Blessing has moved back into a corner. The one problem is... Wait for it. Blessing peeks out again, and nades now come forward. I was about to say, the one problem is that they're really opening themselves up to late utility coming out, considering the fact that the CTs haven't deployed all of it on Banana yet.
They have exposed the archways, though, and Galaxy Racer are taking advantage of this. Taco's on the rotation. He has the he does seem to be scoped in, so he finds Disco Doppland. They now run away here for the Racers. They'll isolate this A-site player. It is Barton, though, and he's been playing very, very good all day. That bomb being planted, they have no idea that he's here. It's down, and so now it's just Joel left in the clutch. A 1-on-3, and this position from Barton is going to be absolutely pivotal. It's putting so much pressure on Joel to try and flush him out, but he still can't deal with him just yet. First flick is good onto Taco. That's a hairline angle, but he's so good for it. And the Molotov, he's going to sail to the side. So difficult to traverse, but no! Joel goes for the peak, takes the kill, but burned alive.
Only the fires of hell can really separate Joel from winning out that clutch. At least that's what it seemed like. Barton, if he didn't have that one piece of utility, Joel's got that. He was feeling it. You don't want to go into a map against Joel when he's playing like that. On the T side, no less, man. And this is where, Galaxy Racer, they have been going for that sly peek early on and evading, evading everything. But the nice thing about how CTs are playing is they are saving their grenades for them. So unless you actually commit to Banana, oh man, that was so nice. That is so nice. But unless you actually commit to Banana, you are generally going to be heavily nade damage down.
And I think that is to Godsent's benefit, the fact that they are not just kind of mindlessly deploying utility. Having that for late round situations is so crucial. Taco shooting between two players. Dumao able to secure the exit. Really well done there from him. Could have been the potential there for Taco to fall, but no problems. In fact, Lado gets involved. The double himself. Only one man left. And Cholsey, he's got some utility. He's got a P250, but his odds aren't looking great. Is this really what we're doing?
You don't want to give the
pistols,
CTs
man.
an advantage, buddy. Oh. I mean, in all fairness, if you're going to pick up the deagle anyway, I mean, I'm wildly confused.
I thought we were going to end in a
Yeah.
amicable bit
Yeah.
of
Pistol
waste
throwing.
disposal.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Why would he throw with a P250 though? There's Tech 9 right next to him as well.
Nah, man, that P250 is deadly. It's an ancient artifact that Godsent won't be able to retrieve.
That's why this entire game's happening. This is you know, not easy stuff anyhow. This is where Michael, you start to wonder what Counter-Strike is really all about. But one thing is for sure, Doomau has no questions in his heart. He just got 3 kills. Lovely stuff from him. Galaxy Racer now. Down, but not out. But money is close to in the
Smoke down middle here for Godsent. The idea that they could potentially push behind it. It's not quite deep enough that they can make it over towards the second mid peak all too safely. But Doomau, again, finding some success over towards Banana. This has been a bit back and forth in terms of who's come out on top, but Galaxy Racers are going to be forced back. And they're cleared around these smokes. The tag there from Taco, but not enough to secure the kill. The nade will allow him to escape. Would have been the undoing of Joel had he committed to that peak.
There's no AWP over towards B, so you can see Lado's playing much more carefully with his jump spotting. It's actually still going to be a late rotation from him. A minute left on the clock. Galaxy can decide to move back should they desire to do so. Flashbang very deep into the arches. Doomau, he's peeking forward. He's revealed himself, but as he backs off, he has found a lot of safety all the way back to Library. And Galaxy Racers instead turn their sights onto the short area. Barton, however, has been waiting here. You don't really want to mess with this man. I wonder if you can avoid it. Smoke goes out, they're trying to isolate him. As they begin, no bot, but for only one. Chalksy has found him the trade. Back to a 3v3 where Taco's low HP. They don't have utility. Taco finds one. Taco's traded. The trades have been so good so far. And as the bomb is planted, they do have a man over in the graveyard. With Joel, who's found himself an AWP. And we know what happens when he gets one of those.
He's low. Steps being made as well here from Galaxy Racers. And this might not be an angle that favors Lotto all too much. It's an off angle being held here from Joel. They go for the double swing. They could really overwhelm him. Jumping across, and Joel hits the flick. So it's down to a one-on-one. Chorzy, strong position to hold in the post plant. And Lotto, while he clears the site, Chorzy swings.
A very narrow victory, but one that was necessary for the terrorist side. CT side money is now what is the slightly more stretched economy. But even so, this is such a great round of trades coming out from them all together, just one by one. Their spacing is what saves them. I thought for sure that Barton would be able to get that second kill as well, honestly.
Yeah. And it has been a little bit harder to call on this map as opposed to Mirage as to who's going to be really taking these rounds. It felt like Godsent had better sort of mid-round communication. But, oh, Doomau? Switching the hands on that AWP, it feels a little too frequently at times here for Godsent. I think that's one of the worries we came into today with, just because it is typically Doomau. Phelps is another one that will sometimes pick up, but Taco's been ulping. So not really getting that same level of consistency throughout, but down to a 3-on-4. Aggression being felt both sides of the map, but that smoke is not going to provide any sanctuary. They ran right past it. Phelps had no idea.
Taco moves in, and that is a big kill to find given the circumstances, but can he get more done? His teammate so far away. A Molotov forces him into apartments. Joel waits for him, open scope. And Lato, in the meanwhile, will be smoked off himself. Can't really move through it with the AWP. It might be time to call it quits. Flashbang in, but they blinded themselves. Each other stare into their eyes, but they can't. Oh my god! Joel's shot was so good, he destroyed the door behind him.
Oh my goodness, man. This guy is ruthless. Reckless. All sorts of adjectives that begin with an R. He's gone for some pretty nasty peaks, hit some pretty solid shots throughout the day. And that one really helped secure this one here for Galaxy Racer. He's a little cherry on top. The AWP being saved by Lato is nice. Again, I don't know who this is going to go off to. expect him because he's got the armor and that nader on the corner has been pretty punishing so far, but it is a little odd to me as well, considering the amount of success that they've had when they've been going with rifles towards top banana, while they sort of pivot the AWP that direction and don't look for deeper control instead of just holding the corner. But we'll see if Lado can get anything done with this one that's been saved over. They don't commit around it, so they've gone with pistols, and he's being left in charge of this B bomb site. If he fall, Godsent are likely to push with those pistols and rotate quickly. Really hoping this is enough of a deterrent to funnel them into the stack.
I mean, this is still looking like Galaxy Racer. It is... wherever they want to go, they can, but more often than not, they have air towards the side of A. Maybe that's why Godsent are headed over there. That's a slightly missed smoke as well. Maybe this is what will give it up for Godsent. Doppler is trying to make the engagement over here. Lado's good for one, and that's when Doppler will try to strike two, but he can't find the kill. Dumao on just the USP will not be able to trace him. Doppler's been given his way right back. Now, though, they figured out where the AWP is. They go back to A. Here we go. USPs. We're happy to deal with those, boys.
This is still certainly scary. They shake things up here on the defense for Godsent. They've taken different positions, and with Disco being low, this could still be very costly at the very least. 30 seconds left here for Galaxy Race. They creep their way up towards short. The flash is in to allow the apartment to peek. And they do not clear out Dumao. Oh, a lot of missed shots though. Barnes in the back of the site does manage to it could be very dangerous, but no, able to flush that out. Taco's there on the rotation, but he's gone too. So it looks worrying. It is certainly a scary prospect altogether. They should, again, be able to keep these weapons over into the follow-up round. You can see Lado, Phelps positioning to try and save those weapons over, and so they make that call. A 6th for Galaxy Racer.
Alright, I'm glad that they're saving. For a second there, I thought maybe they would just try and go for some exits again, but no. We're getting into difficult territory for Godsent at this point. If they don't start getting a little bit more aggressive, then Galaxy Racer will continue to be as free around the map as they have been. Have we seen them take control of Banana even once yet, Michael? On the CT zone?
Aside from maybe the pistol round where they pushed down? No. So,
yeah. So they're not pushing out from A, that's for sure, and they haven't gone for anything around that, so...
And that's what made that round curious as well, when Dumao was on the AWP on the corner where he got naded and then taken down by Mac 10. That's when I thought they would try and throw something at it. Of course, it wasn't the best of buys, so they'll have had less utility to make that one work, but I think if you're going to try and buy up around the AWP, there has to be something that can help supplement the space. They do, of course, have it again. This is a Galaxy Racer timeout, but I think a welcome sight here for Godsent as well to discuss what the approach is going to be in this round. They've tried pressuring both sides simultaneously. They've gone from some apartments pressure. They do go for this sort of top B peak, but they haven't looked for deeper control. And that allows Galaxy Racer to feel a little bit more confident about how they can retake Banana late into a round, especially if Godsent are going to continue to play passive. So, see if they take your advice and go the other side, the other way with it. Screw defense. Best defense is good offense.
I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not always.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Well, right now, seems like they are of a differing opinion. So far, still quite defensive, but 3 players over towards Banana. A very fast rotation back will actually be from Phelps. They seem to be expecting Galaxy Racer to be a lot more aggressive than they have been for a few rounds. Perhaps a little bit wary from the log peak shenanigans that they have gone for. Dumao now, he's already been tagged down to 59, so he can't be feeling all too safe.
Timely nade in middle. Decent damage. Stop spamming away. Additional tags. Oh, timing is on. So, 41, 68. Galaxy Racer. Still relatively healthy, keeping all 5 players up, but now reconvening. Taking top Banana control. Again, this has been relatively uncontested, and they're actually posturing up for an execute. And Dumao's primed on an angle where he can pull back. Oh, he misses the shot as they line up into him. Lado at the back of the site could still be very threatening, and they're trying to flush him out, trying to make sure that he doesn't get too much accomplished. A 1 and done, and that should be it. Godsent aren't able to get into the site fast enough. They're not picking up on the rotations, and they will save.
Again, the same issue is coming up, Michael, is that you're holding your ground until suddenly the avalanche comes in. And that's what it seems like Galaxy Racer is doing repeatedly. They are simply waiting for Godsent's utility to run out, and then because they haven't taken control of anything with that utility, all they've done is prevent a rush coming in. Then the rush comes in.
And what's weird about it is that because we came into this game and Godsent were aggressive from the get-go with the pistol, it seems to me that they would at least be exploring that as a possibility, but there is also something to be said about being very confident in your anchor players. Like, Barton's been doing a good job over that A site. Maybe you don't want to put him in a spot that he's less comfortable in by getting aggressive. But it's just a little too late to the party. Like, Lotto can really do not all that much. He's maybe a little lucky that a Molotov doesn't even come into that position because he would have just been screwed. So yeah, it is a bit fascinating to see how Godsent try and approach this one, because Galaxy Racer 7 already pretty good. And actually, it's Taco to take a peek with the AWP. Oh, double nade on Dumao. 1 HP.
He probably wants to back off at this point, trying to do so, but I'm sure he's also slightly afraid. No, not afraid at all. He's just taking a peek directly in. He's decided to sacrifice his life for information, and that life is going to be given a little bit of a longer tenure. Now, over towards that A-bomb site where Taco still lies in wait with the AWP. Still, I'm slightly disappointed that Dumao hasn't had that more often, I'll be honest with you, Michael, but even so. Yeah. It is Taco to find a nice shot initially, at the very least, but back towards the bomb site where he generally does choose to play from. Good tag onto Felt, even if I think that was for a wall.
Ooh. The tags for smoke themselves have been very, very well timed thus far. 45 seconds. Galaxy Racer still in heavy presence towards top B, but that bomb's making a rotation over. They're trying to exploit this gap that could be found towards the arches. You see the smoke in towards library, so this fight feels like it could determine everything, and Dumao's low, so one bullet will do him in, even if it's through the wall, so he has to be very careful. You can see not really wanting to take those fights, so Cholti forces him back, and they're trying to converge and split towards this B bomb site, but the elevated angle of Lado gets one.
Waiting, Phelps will find one. Joel with the trade is instant. Back to a 2 versus 2 though. And now the question is, Godsent is so far away. Taco wasted a little bit too much time trying to pick that gun up as well. And that gives so much more to Joel to be able to reposition from sandbags to try and play from this. Both the Galaxy Racers players on the perfect angles. Taco, as he inches through, knows what happens with the down, and they will find the initial shot at the very least. Joel now trying to fight back from inside the bomb site, has rotated back to the pillar itself, now watching in the CT, will find the first repositions, going for it. Deagle is out. I don't know if you need that one, but he will almost get it done. 3 HPs, all Taco has left, but he still clutches out the 1v1. 3 kills to his name, saves the AWP as well. Was Joel out of bullets on the off?
I don't think that was the case at all. I think it was just the information being relayed over that he was low from previous engagements. Really, really close stuff. 3 HP.
It's a matter of distance at that point, honestly.
Yeah, and the thing is, Taco got the harder duel over towards Banana. That's an angle where if they had lost that fight, the round just kind of crumbles from there on the side of Godsent, most likely. Yeah. Especially not being able to track down Joel on the initial peak that he went for in CT spawn. So he gets the harder job accomplished, and then he just finishes off the round nicely. Though it does come far too close.
I don't think there's any doubt about that one for sure. Galaxy Racer, that is a round you can look back to with some regret in your eyes, but for now all they can do is look forward, Michael. As they do, now they take control on the Godsent side. They have moved in with the smoke. Finally, we've seen it deployed. Lato, actually, they did this once before, but they didn't maintain it. That's a big question. They maintain deeper positions, and again, it doesn't seem like it is likely. They do have And one more smoke amongst them. But it is Taco to find the first. Chelsea, so impactful in this half so far. It will be taken down without really getting anything.
Dumal's not quite jump spotting enough so they can spot these players further down, but good enough on the slow peak. So Galaxy Racer won't be able to track this man all the way towards that B-bomb site. Lado is on the rotation, starting to hover Phelps as well. Really starting to think this is going to be a B-site commitment, and they are right. That lurker coming over as well.
Oh, they jump straight through the smoke, and they're trying to move into Hobbit, but that's where Lado and Dumao have already got their crossfire setup. It's only a 2v4 now. Galaxy Racer have fallen apart. Dumao is the one knocking them over. Joel, alone, once again. The man is made to stand on his own, but more often than not, he falls on his own. This might be the same situation. Pulls out the AWP, waits for the P to come through. The CTs have outplayed them completely, wholeheartedly, and Taco ready for the only direction where Joel could go. He's boxed him in and taken him out. 6th round for Godsent.
Now, I've got to say, not really a big proponent, maybe, of Taco on the AWP, but he's doing a lot for the CT side. Getting openings, being a part of big moments as well, where they just need to secure the round. He has been there, and he has delivered. Really solid setup there for Godsent as well on the convergence on that B-bomb site.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Galaxy Racer now. Call for the timeout. Is this their second timeout?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time when Godsent almost felt like they should have taken a timeout themselves, Galaxy Racer called their own.
They're force flying into this one. It just feels like you're sort of getting into the mental trap of the previous game. And oh no, they're making a comeback. What do? We need to win now. And if you have that mental boom going on now, Michael, second half's not going to be kind to you.
I think fighting a little too hard to try and get 9 rounds instead of just being content with 8. Not to see it pays off for them though. Godsent have been looking pretty good as of late, especially with how controlling they've been. In spite of this passiveness, Galaxy Racer haven't been able to punish this all too frequently, outside of when they get the sort of swift double entry on that B bomb site. But Godsent have always, or at least as of late, been leaning a little bit more on the side of caution and having somebody on a close rotating position. Galaxy Racer, though, they're looking to burst out of the apartment, so they've got those Mac 10s as well, so trying to make use of the added mobility.
Well, first shot not landed from Taco. That's a miss that he will be remembering. Barton's been smoked. Well, not really smoked, but another one. Moto has definitely been smoked off, and Taco's spam is unable to find anything. The full retake can be on. Lato does have a Molotov to try and get involved here, but he's so far away that you almost feel as if it'll be too late. There's still 3 more smokes and a Molotov from Galaxy Racer. You're not coming in here from Moto, and Godsent realized this.
And their money's not too pretty either, you're on the CT side, so...
Very conservative call. That missed shot from Taco, though, that's everything.
Yeah, 4-4 certainly more doable. Would have helped to maybe allow Barton to be more active from that pit position. But yeah, fair play to Galaxy Racer. Maybe calling the buy into question slightly, but they adapt to the setup and the plan for the round around the buy that they have, and it works out. They get the kill they needed to, and of course, the save from Godsent. So they get 8 secured. And now they can upgrade away from these Mac 10s, provided they don't lose out on all too much. Weirdly enough, Mac 10 has been a little bit more successful as of late versus these rifles. So we'll see if the slower style that comes with it will actually act against them. I think containing and preventing the AWP from being all too impactful will be a priority here for Galaxy Racer. They know that Taco has been here more often than not. We've been fancying a peek down middle. Taco playing with fire, but not getting punished all too much. Just 5 HP taken off the top.
Smoke going down. This is a... Oh, this is looking to be a late B-side hit, and Godsent might be able to find this out. Like you said before, Taco was getting feisty down mid. I think there might be some intentions to do the same. He's sliding all the way through towards the shelter. And as the flashbang comes in, it might be a little bit too late. Now, they do have some utility, at the very least. Phelps with a single Molotov is hoping to be the major stopping power, but beyond that, no flashes for the retake, nothing. If this is a B-bomb site hit, this is going to be one that is likely to turn out effective. 50 seconds. Time is ticking down. Smokes are running through. Rotation as well. A full execute. A full flurry of Molotovs. But Dumao is boosted up. Will not be caught by it as they oh my god, Deson is pre-firing that as well. They're so hyper aware. They wait for the spam from the CTs and it's Latin to go down. Deson to find the frag and rotations should be coming in soon towards that B-bomb site. But it seems like Partida knows. Even though they are keyed in, they still can't get the frags though, and that leaves Phelps alone in a 1v3.
Yeah, I think they had the indicator that it was a fake very early on, but the fact that Deson gets that kill just keeps those players busy there from Godsent. They wanted to make sure that they could get and secure that one player that they knew was isolated, but doesn't come through. So now Phelps 1v3. First kill found. Joel over pushing his bounds. Certainly still doable here for Phelps. No utility going to be recovered. There is a smoke at his feet, actually. That allows him to isolate these. He can find this kill on towards the bomb site. He's running out of time here, Phelps. Not able to find anything. Nobody's beating him on the side of Godsent, so this is difficult. Disco will end his suffering. And so it's a 9th round for Galaxy Racer to round out the half. Godsent, though, solid recovery here on that CT side. Making some good adaptations, getting good consistency out of the AWP presence, but the change of style, it felt like from Galaxy Racer towards the end, a much-needed adjustment for them.
It looked like for a second there, though, that I'm very surprised Godsent never went for a double op. Even if you are putting Taco on the primary, that's fine. You know, maybe it's a map-to-map thing, but Dumao is so good on the weapon at times.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to see him on that secondary. It seemed like very often, you know, the stopping power of an op could have gone a long way on the B-bomb side. Now, though, pistol round time. This is crucial for Godsent to be able to take this one home, at least. Get a bomb plant, if nothing else. Giving one up completely to Galaxy Racer would be trouble, and Chauzy, well, might have just started spelling out trouble. Finds a first down. Banana makes it look easy.
Well, it was supposed to be a slow round where they just looked to see if there's anything gimmicky happening.
And then they died.
Yeah. Hard to anticipate that particular maneuver.
Yeah, it tends to put a damper on things. So coming out from
the angle.
They don't actually have a kid over here on Galaxy Racer. Phelps could go down very easily. Turns around, reveals himself, and Joel will capitalize. What a blunder coming out from Phelps there. Almost gets it. He knew that he had to clear it, but just not quite peeking hard enough. And with this, now Taco and company have been forced on. They aren't going to be brought down with the spam. And then Flashman goes in. It's Chauzy to come out. He's been the hidden dragon, crouching tiger. Chauzy will fall, sure, but Dumao and Barton aren't really going to be able to offer much to this bomb site as Dumao tries to circle around, searching for weaponry, searching for players to find. And as they are peeking into him, a double peek is prevented because of some poor spacing. But still, Dumao boxed in. Barton good for one, chasing after for another. A flashbang to delay long enough for Dumao to peek in one more time. And Barton is waiting, but Dezon's taking down his teammate. With this, a retake should be on. They're chasing after him, pretending to defuse this one out. And as Barton moves in for the peek, there's a man blocking his way. He's so worried about the defuse, and now they're actually sticking it. But this might be a little bit too late. They win the duel. It's crucial. Without the kit, for a second, you could have seen Barton run away with it.
Yeah, both of these players were so low as well on Galaxy Racer. Almost think as well, sticking with the Glock might have served him better if he was just able to get that first kill, continue facing, especially with them being on that bomb. Just, it would have been a much harder incentivized peak, I suppose, from the player that's defusing. It's because they need to be able to get that one under their belt, but so close. Galaxy Racer, they take the pistol. So both CT sides have won their respective pistol rounds thus far. You see Galaxy Racer on their T side answer back, and the nade stack does significant damage onto the CT side. So Godsent can use that later on, especially with the Mac 10s, the Galil. Hell, even the Deagle when he gets up close. So softened up.
Galaxy Racing, very careful. But there is always a difference between CT side and T side. T side Deagle, nowhere near as potentially deadly, except for in the hands of very specific players. Nade is good from the other side as well. And now the apartment spray is popping in. This will be a man who goes unpunished initially, so not able to get the first. It's easy for more. It's Dezon and Plessin who's already helped him recover. The bomb site not quite in their possession though. And with Doplin's Molotov, it could very soon. Doplin likely to line up his Molotov so that they can run in through a little bit sooner. Good avoidance of the grenade, but are they not going to use the molly? They're looking for the kill down in mid. Taco's got a good angle, but Taco can't get the headshot. Now will come in with the second one, and they're re-peeking this with MP9s. This is definitely a big question mark around what they're doing, but the race did not have the time to capitalize, and because they chose to circumvent the smoke, or at least try to, Taco is able to just shut them down there. Taco, beautiful round from him.
Yeah, he has really been a big part of this, well, map. Overall, I was going to say the CT side, but now on T side as well, having a bit of a lurk play down middle with that low HP as well. Headshot angle is hard to approach there from Galaxy Racer, and they missed and dodged the first bullet, but Taco good to line up the second. It is a repeat, basically, of what we saw in the first half. Both T sides winning back after the pistol round goes the way of the CTs. And could be some space created here for Godsent. Pistols on the other side here for the Racers. Are they boosted on top of each other? They're in middle? I think they are. Bit of an, slightly more unconventional stack, but one that could certainly catch you out.
I think you can sort of see over the corner of the... Like, you can...
No chance.
I think... Are you sure? They're crouched. They're both crouched as well, in all fairness, so you don't really... I guess that's not what they're going for. Because I know you can't triple boost over that, and I know that Overpass has some really weird elevated angles, so... I guess maybe that's what they're going for, but this does at least get past both of the major archer smokes that are thrown normally. So, could be netting you a quick tap or two, maybe a gun recovered if there's a lurker coming in, but no lurkers to be sent forward by Godsent. They don't want to lose an AK for no reason and have it used against them. I've seen that happen too many times over.
Yeah, I really wanted to see them move into the stack just to see how effective it was, in all honesty, but that's just my morbid curiosity more than anything else. Disco Doppler close to the smoke. There's execute coming in. It's 20 seconds left here for Godsent.
Oh, he's brought down immediately. Dumau. Flashbang a little bit too good, and with this person, the only person left who can really try and get any damage done before
finding the plant he gets it.
Oh, he's done it! This is massive! He's even got the second one. This might have just saved the day. It's a 2 versus 2. If he can go forward for one more, this will be the round over. He's tagging. He's tagging. He almost had it. Chorzy now alone. He's got it done. Chorzy comes through to finish off Blessin's heroics, and what a way to do it! It looked like Blessin had done it. Then, for a moment in time, it slips out of their grasp, and even then, Chorzy... Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful recovery. Galaxy Racer, what a way to do it.
What on earth was this round here from Galaxy Racer? They avoided the stack, and it's Plessin who spams through with the Deagle to deny 2 plants? Madness. I was kind of just saying that on the off chance that it happened, and I didn't expect it to come through so cleanly.
Yeah. Michael, you are an oracle. And Plessin, well, he is mighty grateful for your prophecy.
Holy.
Galaxy Racer, probably rejuvenated by that one, refueled up, ready to go. They've made their pit stops, and now it's time for them to make the graves of the terrorist side, who have just run through a Molotov. They find 2 immediately. That is a, perhaps a slightly grim reality for the Godsent side.
Flash, it's the mark code. He lined it up. For the B-side players. So a clean round here for Galaxy Racers. It was a save cold there from Godsent. They had some smokes. They had some pistols alongside it, but not all too much invested into it. And the problem is, I don't think that they were quite all on the same page. Taco not having quite as much as the rest of his team, so he's down to pistols. And it's going to be rifles pretty much across the board, with the exception of Taco. He makes that supportive decision, as he often does. Pistol, some utility. And Chawsey looking to send it down towards bottom banana. It took a while before we saw Galaxy Racer try to mess up in this manner, and maybe this is why Lado getting a kill through the smoke.
Pleasant's position is still so annoying. Oh! Pleasant. That's not how you're supposed to treat smokes, my friend, but Joe will find one the old-fashioned way at the very least. Now, as the rotation from Godsent comes over...
Galaxy Racer.
I mean, they are, but it seems like it might be the right place to be coming to. Smokes all coming out. Joe will get a dry peek into him and shows him what he likes to do to those. Molotov on short will keep them at bay for a while longer, but the contest from Disco Doppelin against Lado is going to be crucial. He moves back into the smoke, wants to peek out. Lado's all got HP, and Doppelin's got the headshot. Now with Godsent feeling funneled in, although they could still move back, they might just be caught out. Joel still inside, behind the pillar, playing it nicely. And Godsent, what a way to lose a round. Just dry peeking into the AWP player, having so many places where they're wondering, why is this guy not flashed?
And I can't believe Joel takes up that angle within the bomb site. He misses, and kind of rightfully so. It's such a hard shot to hit. But the confidence to go for something like that, it's enough of a distraction, I guess, that they're able to sweep up. But could have very well gone awry there for Galaxy Racer. Losing that man on the site. Potential as well for that pit player to be found out. The pistols coming into round number 21 for Godsent. It has not been the easiest road. This is the most distance I think we've seen separate these two teams thus far.
Since the first map, at least.
True. Come on, man. I'm talking about Inferno.
I'm just saying, let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. Okay. No, he has gotten ahead of the terrorist side. Chelsea's here to help him out just a little bit. No one's gonna climb up on you, buddy. It's a friendly little shoot down. Not so friendly to Godsent.
Yeah, another round where the Molotov is deployed and they just run straight through it there from Godsent, and the B-site players are loving life. Everybody's tagged up, not having the strongest weapons to respond in kind, so they can just line up these frags rather nicely. And I mean, look how much damage was done. And no smoke means Chelsea has a field day as well. So, now Godsent need to begin this road right back in. We saw them accomplish it before last time these two teams faced off, but Inferno is going to be a much more difficult one to crack unless they get some solid entries throughout. Dumao starting off 22 really nicely with a peek and towards top banana. He is low HP, and that Molotov is not flushing them out, but they double up on Pleasant, and it's the follow-up Molotov that finds the frags right back. Really well orchestrated there from Godsent, if not for the loss of those two players in middle, but it's still going to split the Galaxy Racer side. Still trying to move to 1-1 apiece.
Joel is over here on B though, and we know what he's done a few times on this bomb site. Lato, I mean, they have to get the flashbang to be perfect. There's not too many of them either. That's a big problem. Lato, oh, Joel doesn't quite land the shot. Will be smoking off the new box, but not quite playing from it. Oh, rather easy. Moves back behind it. Peeks out again. Joel's got one. Joel's still hiding. Joel's peeking in. Lato will shut him down though now. It's a 2 versus 1. Chawsey, can he deny the bomb? Doesn't seem like it's likely. The smokes are not quite his friend. They are Pleasant's, but now they're both playing from new box. He does have a... Oh my goodness, Barton. The audacity, the confidence, the stones on this man to take that peek. And with the AK find the headshot instantly, he is headshot down initially, but he is willing to take a blow. Return.
God, what a mid-execute here from Godsent. Not only is it on the round where they're double boosted into boiler, but there is just no safety. They had to swing mid or basically nothing. And they made their own call.
Well, there are no smokes in the Godsent players.
I mean, There may have been, but there's so many Molotovs down, you don't even know where they're all positioned because you didn't have the info early enough.
Fair enough. Can't really smoke up all the Molotovs, I suppose.
Yeah, there were just far too many.
Now, Galaxy Racer. I'm sure they'd like to start closing things out, but Godsent, they are feeling it. They've done it once before. Can they do it again? A colossal comeback. Doppler turning the corner, and a Molotov straight into the smoke. This time it seems like Godsent have got their number, but the flashbang is still well placed. Blessing and Chorty finding one apiece, and Doppler dropped another, and a second kill. Galaxy Racer destined for match point. Dumau with 23 HP, a dream, and he is about to be rudely awakened. Doesn't see Doppler, camouflaged against the fountain, and Doppler will take him out of the map. 15-8, money in the bin. Godsent unsure about what to do, and if this isn't a time to call a tactical, then, well, you probably don't have any tacticals left.
It just didn't seem as though Godsent were looking in the right spots to contest that. They go for this construction wrap in towards that B bomb site, trying to shake things up a bit, and not being prepared for the peak on top of coffins or around the smokes in the site. They didn't commit to the full wall of smokes, which meant that there was a gap that they could exploit there on Galaxy Racer. It didn't look like it had been tested as much as some of these other executes here from Godsent, but now 7 in a row is what's necessary. We know that they are capable of it, but this Inferno map feels like a different story. Galaxy Racer, they'll have that in the back of their minds as well. Don't give them an inch. They will likely take that mile.
Of course, a lack of a full buy definitely helps. Good nade coming in. Flashbang short. Nade as well. Straight to go. Even so, Godsent. 2 smokes, 3 smokes rather. Plenty for an execute wherever they'd like to go. Galaxy Racer also realize this, and they realize on their own money, their own utility rather, drying up. Doppler's got a molly. He will need to use it sooner rather than later. The second he gets flashed off, you can expect that Molotov to go down immediately. Oh, smoke timing is great. Inside the smoke, he'll spray. Molotov is deployed, but he's caught out. Chorty now has to step up, and he's not able to get more than one. Suddenly, possibilities are open. Joel hoping to find one, but it will not be happening. Peeked in, and that's Lado waiting around the corner. Peek me. I dare you, he says. But it doesn't seem likely. Galaxy Racer, with money and resources being limited, they don't want to fall short yet again at the finish line. And Michael, that is just a massive, dare I say, screw up coming out from Disco Doppler. Let's say momentary confusion, becomes very greedy, thinking, yeah, I'm gonna spray them down in the smoke. Then he gets flashed off, takes a bit too long pulling out the Molotov. He's caught out with the Molotov in his hand. He's been brought down, and Chorty doesn't have that additional pressure that he needed to play from the coffins area for long enough.
Considering the success they've had on B in kind of punishing Godsent in previous rounds, maybe that feeds into that the confidence that comes into it, because the flash was on point to force him off the angle, and then before he knew it, he was just getting overrun by all of these T-side players. Solid shot from Taco as well to make sure that Chorty didn't recover the round here for Galaxy Racer. But yeah, a big mistake to make there for that CT side, and we know it doesn't take much. The engine's revving here on Godsent. They've had some pretty solid entries. They've shown some nice executes as well. And that money is running out here for Galaxy Racer. This is likely the last stable buy we see from them. Well, until of course saves do come out. That smoke is very missed.
What are you talking about? That's a one-way. That's actually to prevent them from lining up the new box, Molly.
Ah, yes. Very big brain.
Indeed.
Retake utility being thrown, or being prepped to be thrown, rather. It's a flash, nade combo.
Flash Bolo, actually. Bolo goes out towards broken wall. Doppler gets himself one, and now he's in a good position to peek out again! This is beautiful stuff. And that double play on Coffin really makes a difference, because generally speaking, you don't have time to throw a Molotov and a flash fast enough, even if you use a quick splash method. And because you've put 2 players there, that is lovely. That's so cool to watch. It's actually a solution I was looking for my own games, but now it's a 5v3 and Godsent are looking for solutions, but only
dear.
finding death.
I don't know if it's possible anymore here for Godsent. A 2 versus 5 to try and make this one work. 30 seconds. That smoke will fade soon here for Phelps, so he has to push forward. And they separate, splitting towards B.
The timing works out against him. Dezon doesn't quite watch it in time, and he thinks that it might be clear. But now, as they peek forward, they don't catch the player. Phelps will get the backstab. 10 seconds on the clock, and they found the only possibility there was. Molotov back towards the box, and they don't have time. They will be able to deny the bomb plant. No, Disco Dublin unable to find a kill. It's a 3-on-2. Taco and Phelps can make this happen. Back to a 2v5, down to a 2v2. Utility, non-existent. Taco, Phelps. 2017 is calling back, and they won a hell lot of clutches back then as well. Phelps will try and navigate the CT spawn, but now that he has been forced to give up the angle, Coffin is where he watches, and the gun barrel to bait out. Joel to peek in. Joel takes them away. 16 rounds secured. Galaxy Racer are your second team into the playoffs. They are your lower bracket champions, and they will be joining Havu into the playoffs.